Alright guys, what's going on everybody? Needs more drums back in Griffin, Indiana on our little farm here, a little hobby farm. Hopefully expand, sometime soon, but right now we're broke and we need to, start small. So we just finished up plowing all of our fields, and now the next thing we basically could do is sit and wait because we can't plant corn until the spring, which is what I do want to plant first in this farm. So in the meantime, we'll go ahead and go to the store and grab a couple things to kind of get ready for the winter. And also during the winter, we could sell our silage bales, so we could wait for that. But for now, we'll just head over to the store and see what equipment we can buy so we don't need to worry about buying it later. Alright, so there are a couple of things that we are going to need to get started here for the planting season. So the first thing, we obviously need a planter, and I got a little, I got this modded one, which I think, yeah, it's a little bit better than that one. So the reason that I grabbed this modded one is because you only need 70 horsepower. So as opposed to this one, you need 100, and our tractor only has 100, and so we'd be really pushing the limits on that. And this one also has a little bit of a longer working width, so less passes in the field, which is always good. So yeah, we're going to buy this one. And this one too, I mean, I think all of these can, but this can also put down a layer of fertilizer, which is really, really nice, so that we don't have to actually do 2 trips. We can just do, one of, load this up with some solid fertilizer as well, and then we can, plant and fertilize at the same time. So I actually like these colors on this too, which is pretty cool. So we're going to go ahead. I know this is an expensive purchase, but we are going to need a planter, like forever. So I figure I might as well just buy that one, bite the bullet on it. And then I also want to get a, what is it called? Can't think of, a sprayer. Yeah, I wanted to get a little sprayer. I found that there's really none in the base game that are kind of small enough for what I like. This is the smallest one, and it's way bigger than what we need, and it's also very expensive. And I don't really want to lease a sprayer every time because it's another one of those things that we're just going to use, quite a bit. And so I found a couple of these like really small ones. This one's pretty cool, 18 meters, and this one's also pretty cool for like, a quarter of the price, even less. I'm kind of debating on which one of these I want to get. This one's got a nice 18-meter work width, which is really nice. Yeah, so the nice thing about this one having an 18-meter work width, that's not a lot of passes, and this is still smaller than the other one, but I think this one is kind of more our speed for right now, just given the money situation. So I think we're gonna end up buying this one, and honestly, like 9 meters is not bad for the amount of field that we have, and we really realistically we only need to do one. If we even want to do herbicide, which I think we should, we'll do 1 layer of herbicide right after we plant, and then we only have to do 1 additional layer of fertilizer. And the good thing about it is too, if we can fertilize while we plant, then we can also we could spray in the first growth stage, which means that we don't actually need the bigger tire or the narrow tires. We can actually just drive over it with regular tires because it's not growing in. I think so. Anyway, we're gonna see, but yep, let's go ahead and purchase this. And while we're here, we're also gonna grab some seeds. I think this one takes 2,000 liters, so I'll go ahead and buy 2 of these. And I believe it also takes some fertilizer as well, but I will see about that in a second. Yeah, it seems looking a little bit heavy, but that's okay. We got a little bit of a front weight on this tractor, so that should not be a problem. We'll go ahead and fill up our seeds here since we don't have a front loader or anything like that yet to help us get that stuff back to the farm. It does look like it takes some fertilizer too, so I'm gonna actually go ahead, after I load this up, go ahead and buy some of that. Ah, I see. It's 1,000 and 1,000. All right, well, now we're just gonna have this thing of seeds sitting here because I can't move it anywhere. So, oh well. And yeah, I know fertilizer is typically pretty expensive, but it definitely pays to fertilizer field, you know, I mean, to get the additional, what is it, an additional 50%, I think. Yeah, you definitely don't want to miss out on that opportunity to do that. Ooh. I guess this is not gonna work after all. Oh man, I think I'm gonna need a bigger weight for the tractor. Oh no. Oh well. Let's go and see what we got at the shop. Or actually, I think I might just be able to customize this one. Add some more weight to it. Alright, so it looks like I already had the max weight on there, so that might be a little bit of a problem because I'm gonna need something heavier on the front to get this planter to work. Maybe what I could do somehow. I'm wondering if I could somehow use this to attach something, but I don't know. This is a problem. This is a little bit of an issue. What are we going to do? Let me think about it and figure that out. All right, so it looks like I may have found a temporary solution, which is just not filling up the fertilizer spreader all the way. Which, oh, we're still cutting it like super close, but it's fine once you get it, you know, on the ground. It should be all right. Yeah, just slowly taking this back to the farm here. I think what we're gonna have to end up doing is actually just upgrading our tractor to have just get a whole new one with, you know, a front weight capability and everything. And getting this in here, I figured was going to be a little bit of an issue. A little bit too big for the tractor that we got, but that's okay. We'll manage. All right, now I'm just going to go back and grab the sprayer that we need, and I'll fill that up with some herbicide as well before we head out. All right, now that we have our new sprayer back at the farm, we could pretty much just relax until the spring, because there's really not much we could do until we can get the field planted. So I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward time until we can sell our silage bales, and then we'll check out, you know, the price of those and see if that's a good thing to do come February, which is, I believe, when the price is supposed to be the highest. So I'm just going to go park the tractor for now, and we will be back at it in a little bit. Beautiful cold day here in December, just like how it is at the time that I'm recording this video. It is December, and yeah, nice snow coming down, and it looks like we have today's a good day to sell our silage bales, because I just checked the prices on the market. That's the wrong thing. On the market, and it looks like the price was typically about, you know, used to sit at 340, but now it's at like 345, and it seems like this is kind of the high point that it's going to get. And lucky for us, the prices are pretty close at each of the selling points, and the livestock dealer is literally like right across the street. I mean, I can just see it from here. Yep, there it is right there. So we're gonna go and take our bales over there, because that'll be, you know, the easiest way, and I don't have to drive far for, you know, and for the like the extra $1. I mean, I guess it adds up, but it doesn't. Like it's fine. So this is good enough for me. Time to go hook up to the bale picker upper thing. Then we will get going over there. See how it works, because like I started to kind of figure out how to drive with this thing on and work it pretty well. But we'll see if it's still if I'm still any good. All right, let's see here. I think these two, it's gonna be hard to kind of pick some of these up. I gotta make sure I get them just right. I think I could actually expand these a little bit. There we go. I know this is like the worst way to move bales is with this machine, but like I literally didn't really have another option at the moment for round bales, so just kind of working with what we got, I guess. Oh, come on. think that's gonna have to do it for now. So let's go head over and see how much we're gonna get. I think before I calculated, it would have been about, if I was doing it right, I think the price is per 1,000 liters. So I think we were looking at about 13 grand or so for all of the bales, but we'll see in a moment. Gotta find where the sell point is here. I think that's manure. Maybe this spot right here. Yep. Oh yeah, so about 1,200 bucks a bale. Not bad. Yeah, we got 13 of them, so that'll be a little over 13 grand, so that's nice. But yeah, all right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and keep going back and forth here in the snowy weather, so I will catch up with you guys when we're just about to make our last load, and we can you know, see how much money we made from all of these. All right, so we got our last bale here. They've been prices fallen a little bit since we started selling them, like, you know, an hour and a half ago in game time or whatever, but yeah, we're still making about, you know, 1,200 bucks a bale, so that's not bad. We are after this, I think all that's left to do is just wait until the spring rolls around and start planting. So let's just sell this last bale here. There we go. Yep. My guess was right. About 1,200 bucks a bale. So we'll just head back to the farm here now, and then kind of fast forward to the springtime, where we can start planting our fields with some corn, and, you know, hopefully make some money pretty soon off of our first harvest. So looking forward to that. Just gonna go put this back in the garage here, and then see you guys in the spring. All right, so we made it into the spring here. April showers bring May flowers, and hopefully some more money once we get our corn planted for the year. Yeah, so yeah, let's go ahead and jump in and start planting these fields. Hopefully our tractor won't flip over since, you know, this planter's a little bit too heavy. So hopefully this year, I know we're probably not going to make a ton of money off of our crops, but I'm hoping it'll be enough for us to maybe, if we sell our current tractor and do a little upgrade to one that can support maybe a little bit more weight, I think that would be really beneficial to us. So we'll see about that in the near future, but for now we're going to do what we got. Just going to have to make some more trips down to the store, that's all. But yeah, I think we'll be in good shape here. So let us go ahead and get started. Put the planter down. Yes, I do want to plant corn. Just wanted to make sure that is the plan. Oh, this thing's bigger than I thought. Okay, cool. Decent. Yeah, oh, this will be real easy to do. Yeah, it'll take us no time at all to get all this get this field planted, because, you know, these are some pretty tiny fields compared to the rest of the map. I think hopefully soon, you know, I can buy another field, maybe one of those ones. I know I've played this map before, like in Farming Simulator 19, and there's a few fields down at the edge of the map that are like pretty big compared to these, but, you know, not overly huge where you need like massive equipment. Maybe something like that in the future. Hopefully we can get one of those within the next couple years. Just doing a few little headland passes here. And usually I like to use the edge markers there, but this time you could pretty clearly see where we're planting, so I don't really feel like I need to use those. And it's nice because this fertilizer is not getting used at a very alarmingly high rate, so we probably don't have to go keep making tons of trips back to the store to refill our fertilizer, because remember when we had it full the first time, it was a little bit too much weight for the tractor to handle. So we gotta kind of go with like half fertilizer for now, less than half. That's alright, no big deal. Yeah, this guy's doing just fine with this planter, other than almost coming off the ground. It's pulling the weight pretty good, so can't really complain. I like my little tractor. Putting in the work. Yeah, no, I'm planting this in a really weird way. Whatever, it's a game. Just want to give myself a little bit of room to, be able to turn around here by this fence. That's all. Alright, so we're just about done with our first field here. Got that all planted. The only problem I'm having with this planter at the moment is since it is so heavy, we're having a little bit of trouble steering because our front wheels aren't fully planted to the ground. But other than that, it's actually not too bad. So I can't complain at all. So let's go ahead and fold up and head over to our other fields. Actually, let me just check something real quick. So yeah, so it looks like we have our corn planted, and I just want to see if we... Ah, interesting. So that already has 2 fertilized states, except for that middle part. I wonder... Oh, I think maybe because it was mowed? Huh. I wonder. Well, either way, it looks like we don't need as much fertilizer on that, but then this might give us a second fertilizer state. And this one too. Maybe because it already had grass. I actually never know with this game how that works. If you plant grass before you get a fertilizer state or something, then maybe because you plowed, I don't know. But either way, I'm not complaining. So that means I don't actually have to spray. I guess I could still spray that field because there was quite a lot of fertilizer that didn't actually make it in, but or there's that whole area in the middle that was still unfertilized. So maybe we'll still go ahead and spray that a little later, but that is a problem for another time. Right now we just got to go ahead and plan our next couple fields, so I will go ahead and do that and hit you guys up when I am done, even though it'll be just probably a couple minutes here on my part. Yeah, this isn't taking that long at all, and we're almost done with this field and we only have the one little one left to go. I think I will talk about my fun fact for the day. So the reason that I kind of got back into this game recently was there's a show that I really like. It's a short show, but it was really good nonetheless. Clarkson's Farm. So I don't know if any of you guys watch Top Gear. I'm really big into cars, so I like Top Gear. And then now it was originally on BBC, but has since after the lead guy Jeremy Clarkson got in a little fight with the producer, they canceled the show. BBC canceled the show, but people liked it so much, so Amazon kind of took advantage of the opportunity and picked up the show, and it's called the Grand Tour now. I guess it's actually over. Their last season was a couple years ago, but they still do like some specials here and there, but like the actual full-length seasons are done. But it ran for over like 20 years. I mean, it was a long show, and really, really funny, really good. I love the 3 hosts. I love the cars. It's fantastic. So anyway, turns out that Jeremy Clarkson, he actually has he owns a 1,000-acre farm in like the English countryside, and he had somebody who ran the farm, but then they had since retired. So he thought, he was kind of, the shows were all ending, and he had some time, and he liked being on the farm. So he was like, how hard can it be, right? Like, why don't I just farm it? And so he went out and sought some help from other people, and just literally just tried to run this whole farm on his own. And it was hilarious because one, he barely like couldn't do it. It's found out it's way harder than what you would think. And he tried to get like animals. He tried to get some sheep. Turns out sheep are really really tough to maintain, as like are any animal. And then he just it was COVID, the year that COVID happened, so everything was shut down. And it was like the year where they got a ton of bad flooding in England. And then in the summer they had a really bad drought, so it was like a lot of farmers were struggling to plant their crops because it was too wet and they could never find a time to get all the seeds in the ground. And then what seeds they did get in the ground, half the fields flooded, so they couldn't do anything with that. They lost a lot of crops. And then in the summer too, the fields got so dry that a lot of farmers lost a lot of their crops again. So it was like just literally the worst year for anybody to start farming, even in a small farm like this, but I mean, let alone a 1,000-acre farm. I remember he showed, like there was a shot of like, oh, I own all this land. And I mean, you couldn't even see where the fields ended. I mean, it was ridiculous. But he had some help from guys around the town and stuff that have farmed. And especially there was this one really funny guy named Caleb, who was like a young kid. I don't know, he wasn't even 21 yet. He was like 19, 20. And he had never been outside of that little farming town in the English countryside. Like he always just grew up there and stayed there and farmed the land. That's what a lot of people do in places like that. So even out here in the States, there are some small farm towns like Griffin, Indiana, for example. In real life, there's probably a lot of people that have never actually gone outside of Griffin, Indiana, and never been to a big city or something like Chicago. But yeah, that's just kind of how life is. And so it was just really funny, seeing him try to do all these things that I'm like, oh man, like this is exactly the same thing that I do in Farming Simulator. And it made me pick up the game. I actually downloaded there's an English map called the is it Clamsden or Calmsden Farm or something. But yeah, kind of a really similar area. And I was like, and I never farm in European maps, so I was like, I'm gonna do that. And I enjoyed that for a little bit. And then I thought, hey, Griffin, Indiana is back on the workshop. I mean, not the workshop, the mod hub. And I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. And I think it would be the perfect opportunity to start a little series, because you can buy these little plots of land that are kind of made to be built, and you don't need, you can kind of start like a little farm like this, and hopefully we'll grow the farm, obviously. But for a starting point, yeah, this is a lot of fun. So that's a fun fact. Love that show. Kind of got me back into the game. And yeah, now that I kind of seen somebody kind of struggle with that, it gave me some motivation to try this out and see how it goes. So far, it's been going pretty good, and I've been having a good time. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you also like the Grand Tour or Top Gear as it once was. I always liked Top Gear a little bit better than the Grand Tour, just because I felt like it was a little more what's the word I'm looking for? Natural, maybe? No, there's another word that I'm thinking of, but I can't think of it right now. But maybe organic is the word that I'm thinking of. But yeah, the Grand Tour seemed a little bit scripted at times, which, like, obviously, it's like it probably is. But the Top Gear, I never felt like it was, everything was super scripted. I mean, I felt like everybody's interactions were genuine, and there were some like really funny moments, just because like Jeremy and James and Richard they're just funny guys, and like they always pick on each other, and I love it. So yeah, would highly recommend that if you're into cars, or even if you're not into cars, go check out that show. It'll give you a good laugh, if nothing else, as we drive through these bushes here, which I would never do, but in real life. But anyway, yeah, so great show. Yeah, so I'm just gonna finish up sowing this field. Shouldn't be too much longer, so yeah, probably just catch you guys in a second when I am done, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so as we're making our last pass here, yeah, this took me way shorter than I thought it would. Usually when I'm, when I gotta plant fields, it takes a long time, and I mean, these fields are freaking tiny compared to like half the fields that I plant. But yeah, it's nice to get this done in only a couple hours in game time. I mean, shoot, we got up at 8. It's already 10 o'clock and we're done, so that's really nice. But yeah, so let's. I'm curious about this here because I noticed this when I planted the first field. So yeah, it looks like we actually have a second fertilizer state already. I don't know what the first one is from. Maybe if you plant grass and then you plow, maybe you get a fertilizer state, or your first time plowing a field. I'm not sure. I know I need lime. Yeah, I know I need rolling, but I mean, whatever. Lime is expensive and rolling is just time consuming. And well, not really time consuming with the small fields that we have, but I just don't feel like spending money on a roller. So, oh well. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. So it looks like we actually don't need to fertilize again unless I want to hit those big patches in the middle, which I might real quick, but that'll be, I'll wait for a little bit for that. But yeah, what we can do though is actually put down some herbicide, and I think I might do that now because you don't want to wait until your first growth stage. Otherwise, might get some weeds already, and it will decrease your yield. But if you put down your herbicide right after you plant, before the first growth stage, you can actually achieve the same yield as, like, basically there's no yield penalty for spraying herbicide right after you plant your seeds. Whereas, like, if you put down herbicide at any other point, after your first growing stage, after your second, after your third, etc., as you wait later, the herbicide will have a higher yield penalty on your field. So getting this down early is important. Or you could use a non-chemical weed preventative measure, such as using a weeder or a hoe or whatever. But in this case, yeah, we're just gonna spray because it's pretty cheap, and it is actually very effective, and you only have to do it once. Whereas, like, if you use a weeder, you may have to do it more than one time. So this will ensure that our field is protected, and we don't have to do this again, as far as I know. At least I did it last time on in my English farm game save, and it worked just fine. So I didn't have weeds for the whole season, so I'm guessing it'll work again here. Now the only thing is that it looks like I can't actually see where I'm spraying my herbicide, so we're just kind of taking a guess. Which I know I'm doing some overlap here, but I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt. Rather overlap than not hit a big spot and then have weeds growing everywhere. So that's fine. But yeah, this should be doing the job just fine. I'm guessing that's pretty good for this field. So let's go to the other ones and spray them real quick, and then we will be done for the day, and we can just sit here and relax and watch the crops grow until the fall. All right, that field is done. Let's go ahead and head to the last one. All right, and this is all the fields. So our crops are ready to just sit and watch them grow. So nothing else we really need to do unless we want to. Maybe we'll fertilize one more time a little bit later after the first growth stage. But for these areas that we missed. But honestly, I don't really see the need to do that. But well, we'll see. But either way, for now, this is good, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. So thank you for watching, and like and subscribe to follow the series. And yeah, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.